This is the Night Wolf howling at you, and today we're going to take a look at the Masters of the Universe Stingor figure, the evil assassin of the evil horde. Some of that writing, man, I tell you. This was, of course, another Mattel Creations exclusive. Somebody we saw on the back of the Modulok box, which it actually looks like he's using hands from Modulok, by the way. So if we turn this around, we see a picture of Stingor there with a young man-at-arms. Hordak in the background, escaping through a portal, carrying, it looks like, Baby Adora. So I'm wondering if his mini comic is going to have a story in the past, or if they're going to continue on with this future stuff that they've been doing. Anyway, let's open this up. Since it is a collector-friendly packaging, that should be fairly easy to do, except for the little jabs that they use to hold them in place. Let's get into the comic, because that's what I'm most interested in at the moment. The Sting of Stingor. Looks kind of funky up there, honestly. Eternia, a planet ruled by mankind, or so it believed. Look closer beneath the surface, behold an alien world beyond sword and sorcery. Deep beneath the strata, hives of insects of all shapes and sizes, intellects, wage cruel wars for resources and territory. For every human, they number in the millions. Across the phylum of Anthropodia, none is more ruthless than the scorpion. Before the dawn of Eternia, their ancestors ruled tyrannically, preying on weaker breeds of insects. Millions of years later, little has changed. Now enter the focal point of their sinister designs, Stingor, Lord of the Scorpion Hive and the Greater Brood. At his beck and call is his loyal though ambitious second-in-command, Stingor. That looks like Stinkor. Lord Scorp, though the fates have turned in our favor, all is tranquil on Eternia. The armies of Eternos rest, Hordak is banished, and the snake men lie in the pits, and temples recovering from defeat, as chronicled in the Rise of the Snake Men and Horde Invasion epics. Excellent. While they slumber, we strike. Hordak wasted precious resources on his petty vengeance against Skeletor. I warned him. Though we bear the Horde Lord's banner, he is exiled. Thus I shall step into the fore. Victory will be mine. Hail Stingor, Lord of all insects. Meanwhile, in the pulsing metropolis of Overhive, the brave ant people have learned of Stingor's poisonous plot and warned the Masters. Masters, the Ants-men have intercepted evil plot from Scorpion Brood. They plan to sneak attack Grayskull. Let them try. The walls are more fortified than ever. What in tarnation? Earthquake! Arrogance is a danger anyone is capable of, even our noble masters. For as the heroes brushed off the dire warning, Grayskull finds itself under siege, literally. Toxin, arachnoid, center beast. Excellent work, penetrating Grayskull's underbelly. Crimson Dragoons attack. We've got a bug problem. Yeehaw! I don't mind being a buzzkill. I forgot my fly swatter, but my gauntlet shooters will do. Suddenly, a dull scream pierced the air as Stingor cut through Man-at-Arms' breastplate as if it were tinfoil. Stings, doesn't it? Leaving Man-at-Arms on the ground to die, Stingor returns to battle. He-Man goes to his friend's side as the melee rages on. Duncan, I'm with you, brother. Teela, daughter, Teela. The words are millions of miles away. The warrior's eyes dilate as the person who matters most desperately surfaces to the forefront of his mind. All seems lost in the halls and battlements of Castle Grayskull, as every square inch is overtaken by countless insects. Yes, brood, brethren, our airborne allies. The roaches and flies have arrived. Engulf Castle Grayskull. Let it be one of our many hives. The corridors of Grayskull are infested with bugs. All is black and impenetrable to the eye as the champions are overtaken by the crawling vortex. And as in the interior, so goes the exterior of the castle. Begone, infestation! To the pits and pools of refuge you return! The f*** is the sorceress and Teela doing together there? It looks like they're fighting each other. No matter how dark the day, light makes right. The rays shine forth, vanquished the insects in an instant. Till next time, masters, the swarm shall regroup. Though some survive to infest another day, go ahead and try. The Ba-Ma-Ba boots will be waiting. Victory is short-lived as one of their own fights for his life. Can he be healed, sorceress? Save him, you must. Never despair. Every poison has an antidote. Thank you, my friends. Did I ever tell you the story of how I came to be in the King's Guard? Only about 1,000 times, but tell me again anyway. Days passed, men-at-arms healed and recuperated as all the masters counted their blessings, realized what counted in most in life, each other. Honestly, I would rather they'd gone back in time and shown the kidnapping of Adora, but it's not too bad. Not great, but not bad. So we have Stingor. Like I said, it looks like he's using hands from Modulok here, and of course, Ping hits his body with a new vest and a butthole. He has a butthole. Along with the butthole, we have a stinger. We have an articulated tail here. Looks like it's got hinges and balls. Franks and beans. Franks and beans. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 separate bits of articulation here. And as you can see, it can move pretty well. So now we shall peg him in the butthole. That being said, let's take a quick look at his face sculpt, man, because this is actually, they are giving us actually some terrifying looking faces now, which is exactly what I want to see from the Horde, I'll be honest. Scary ass faces. And he does have a scary ass face. Although I do like the little hairdo here with the little stinger tail on his helmet. Of course, is that a helmet or is that part of his, is that like an outer shell? Don't know. Articulation wise, the head is on a ball joint also. It can spin all around. You can look down. You can look a little bit up, sideways. Actually, he's got more range of motion than I would have expected from this head design. We can raise his arm up and down on a hinge. We can spin it. The shoulder pauldron is a hard enough plastic, though, that it does interfere with going all the way around or an up. We can hinge the elbow, single joint, as usual with our MOTU origins. Spin that joint, though. The hand spins around 360 and in and out articulation for the wrist. Did on the other side, but that was to be expected again, just reused. His torso spins at 360. Whoa, 360. He can grab his own tail if he wants. We can kick up. We can kick back a little bit. We can close his knee. That was a weird way to phrase it. About 90. There's, of course, a pin in there, so you can turn it if you want. So it looks like he broke his knee. Boot cut using Hordak's boot tops, and his feet are those of Whiplash and Buzz Off. It's actually a shame, really, that they did not paint the toenails on here the same red that they did that. Because that would have honestly looked more appropriate. And I'm honestly surprised I got him to stand. He does come with a Horde shield. I feel like I've seen this somewhere before, but I can't place it. And I'm trying to take a quick look at the figures on my display here, and I don't see it there. Huh. But to note here, it's got clips on it. Which... There's a really small clip there. So... I'm not sure. Oh, there we go. We got it into place. It dug into the plastic there, though. So I don't like that shield. However, the shield's not the only thing he comes with. He does come with a hand. Just a standard hand with kind of like claws on them. It's just the right hand. And then he's got a separate claw thingy. does not fit over that. So I'm thinking let's first pull the claw out. All right, so that won't hold into place like that. So now we put the hand in there. I feel like this came with somebody. I think something like this was used in Masters of the WWE Universe. So, well, this way would need to be for the Scorpion Claw, except for the problem being that the outer one should be thicker than the inner one, right? Honestly, I think this is meant to mimic Clawful's hand more than anything else. So I don't think I would be using that in my display. So let's just take that off. So I gotta be honest with you, I think overall that this guy's actually a pretty cool looking figure. Definitely not something I think we would have seen back in the 80s though, you know? But who knows, maybe. I don't remember if some of these characters are from not prototypes, but if they had been sketches from back then maybe. But this guy is actually really cool looking overall. They did a great job with that tail. They could have gone super cheap with that thing, but they didn't. And all that additional articulation does make it easier to balance him also. The shield itself is utter garbage though. That clip in the front of it is just too small, so I'm not really going to put it on him. Besides that, with the cutout there, it looks like it's a shield designed to be held in front of you, and you know, so you can get a weapon like a lance out through the side with that hole in it. So I'm not sure why they're giving it to this guy in the first place, other than they designed it and put it out there, I guess. That claw they gave us though, like I said, I keep on thinking that a figure from the Masters of the WWE Universe came with something like that, but I do not remember who it is, and all those figures are packed away, so I can't just look and see, unfortunately. But it's not one of the better designs, and I do think that that is meant more for representing a crab claw than a scorpion claw. So that feels like a bit of a failure there, but you don't need either one of those things for this figure to be so badass looking. That tail's a wicked weapon. It's good. And honestly, if you didn't get him yet, I believe he is still available on the Mattel Creations website. So I would go ahead and order him. I mean, he's probably going to be in stock for the next sale that they do. So pick him up then if you want to wait. But I would definitely go for him because he is a really badass looking figure. The only real thing that I'm going to nitpick about on this figure again is just that his claws on his toes should also have been painted red like the claws on his hands. If they had done that, that would have been magnificent. Why don't you let me know what you think of this figure in the comments below? I'm definitely curious. When they do stuff like this, these newer figures, these are the ones that I'm really interested in what other people think of them. So please let me know. And if you enjoyed this review, please feel free to sting that like button. It's actually the second Scorpion figure we've reviewed this week. And if you'd like to see more of my nonsense in the future, it's kind of too bad I don't have a Scorpion for Marvel to go next, huh? I thank you for watching. Peace and love.